tdphinstalk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Y'all hit that like button on your way in the building. Fire up the emojis. Thank y'all for tuning in. Let your friends and family members know that we are live right now here on Bleacher Report. Listen, man, this is supposed to be vacation for everyone. This is supposed to be vacation. The players, coaches, fans, everybody alike. This is vacation time right now. But it's one fan base that they're not allowing them to rest. They're not allowing the Miami Dolphins to rest, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because for some reason, we are the topic of discussion in all of Miami, all of NFL land. It's like we are the only team that they can talk about right now. And I want to, chat with y'all today to see, is it justified though? Is it rightfully so? We've had several people over the last couple of days come out and just literally just rag on the Dolphins. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The hate is real right now. The hate is real. But it got me to thinking though, because the one thing that we realize in society today, you don't want to be a hater. Stop the hate. Hating isn't cool, right? But is it hating if it's true? That's what we have to start to look at and evaluate. Is it hating if it's true? And that's a tough reality to swallow for anyone that's being talked down on. If it's true, it's true. So we're going to break down some of the things that are being said about the Dolphins, and we're going to determine, man, let's be honest, is it true? All right, so first and foremost, let's start out with Asante Samuel Sr. coming out recently, really talking bad about the Dolphins. I mean, it was bad, y'all. It was pretty bad. He started saying some negative things like, this team is being ran like an elementary school almost. McDaniel is, I don't like to use the word soft, but weak, and they don't know what they're doing in Miami. Now, when it comes to that, I don't want to put truth to that. Calling someone soft and things like that, I don't want to put truth to. I don't want to put any truth to that because you can't gauge whether somebody's quote unquote soft or not, right? But here's what I can gauge is I do agree and I don't believe that anybody respects Mike McDaniel. See, I think people have a misconception of what respect is. You can pay me a lot of money and I can do what you tell me to do, but that doesn't mean I respect you. I could talk in your good graces and sing your praises. That don't mean I respect you. Respect is one of those things that's internal with an individual of having respect for another person. And what does that look like? A lot of times respect comes in the form of honesty. Telling one the truth about how they feel. Telling one the truth of how you perceive them. It may sound rough, it may sound tough, it may even sound, like you don't like the person, but if you respect them, the one thing that you're going to always do to people you respect is be honest with them and not lie to them. And here's why I don't believe players respect Mike McDaniel. Because as soon as a player tried to show respect and be honest, in my opinion, Jalen Ramsey, with the front office and the brass and Mike McDaniel, it wasn't received well. It wasn't received well, which makes you lose all respect. And we've seen it over the years. Players have Mike McDaniel's back because he has their back, but that has nothing to do with respect. You even hear Tyreek Hill say in interviews sometimes, our coach, even though our coach is weird, like literally, sometimes he'll call Mike McDaniel weird in front of other people. Yeah, I know our coach is weird. When I first got here, I used to say to myself, we're being coached by this guy. That's terrible. That's just not a good look. That's not a good look at all. And I don't think that's respect. And nobody views him as a alpha where they really have to do what he says. They do what he says because they got the money, they got the checkbook, and that's about it. Transactional. With the exception of maybe a handful of players like Tua Tagovailoa and others, because guys like that might not even be in the league today if it wasn't for McDaniel. But yeah, when guys say that nobody respects Miami and it's a joke of an organization, only Dolphin fans don't see that. Only Miami Dolphin fans don't see that. Only Miami Dolphin fans think it's the O-line is the issue to everything. Only Miami Dolphin fans feel like Tua is a part of the issue. It's so much bigger in the organization. So much bigger. Another thing that I want to address as well is the fact that there's this campaign now on fix the O-line, fix the run game, and we'll be fine. And this is what I think people aren't considering. The run game would definitely help Miami. But it's not going to get you over the hump. Let me say that again. The run game would definitely help Miami. A better O-line would definitely help Miami. But it's not going to get you over the hump. It's not going to get you over the hump. It will make you a little more competitive, but it's still not going to get you over the hump. Until this team digs deep and finds their heart and wear it on their sleeve and play more physical than their opponent, not just in the trenches, but in every facet of the game, until we have elite play at the quarterback position, and until we play mistake-free football, we're not going to get over the hump. That's just the reality. That's the hard, cold truth reality in Miami. And I see everybody checking in the chat right now. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all make sure you hit the like button as well, all right? And I agree with Nightmare74 saying respect is earned, not given freely. Yeah, you have to earn it. You know, one way to get respected is when you are down and your back is against the wall and you rally the troops and you say, let's punch ourselves out of this and let's do it together. When you can get the team to actually accomplish that, they start to respect it. But the one thing I can tell you about Mike McDaniel, he's failed almost every single time we've been in that situation. He's failed almost every time we've been in that situation. And again, I see people in the chat saying, you know, a great O-line would get us to a Super Bowl. And this is what I try to help people understand. Okay, give Miami a great O-line, right? So now they have the line that the Chiefs have. Now they got the Buffalo line, the Bengals line, Baltimore line. They got a line now. Now you have everything the better teams have. Right? Now what advantage do you have? Now what advantage do you have? When you go up in the playoffs against Buffalo, just because you got an O-line in a run game now, what advantage do you have? They have an O-line in a run game. When you go mano-a-mano and these teams can throw the ball well, these teams can run the ball well, these teams can protect well, what advantage will you have? When the play is off script and off timing, like it reminds me of the Super Bowl. People conveniently love to talk about the Eagles' defense, but they ignore how the Chiefs' defense had Jalen Hurts running for his life all game. Even the great O-lines, because y'all love to say, give me the Eagles O-line. People forget in the Super Bowl how the Chiefs had Jalen Hurts running for his life all game. But what did Jalen Hurts do in return? Made him pay for it. Every time. So, get our O-line, get our run game, and now it's time to go up against the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills, the Bengals, and all of those teams. Now what? When their defense has our quarterback running for his life, what is he going to do versus our defense having Lamar Jackson running for his life? What is he going to do? You're still at a disadvantage. And this is what I try to explain to everyone. The one thing people don't realize, let me break something down for everyone. Here's a news flash. I'm going to tell you a little secret that should not be a secret, but the way people believe and perceive how the game works, it tells me this is going to be a secret, what I'm going to tell y'all. A revelation. These teams like the Eagles, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Ravens, their O-line isn't as good as you even think. They're just rated high because they give up less sacks. Why? Because their quarterbacks are also a major threat. Some teams won't even pass rush them as much as they should in fear of them taking off and beating it. Let me give you another secret. Their run games aren't as good as you think either. But their quarterbacks make the run game elite. There's been a lot of talk lately about, the Dolphins have had a lot of too high safety. And when you look at all those other good teams, they have single high safety because teams are scared of the run. But you fail to list what part of the run are they scared of. They are not scared of you handing the football off. They are scared that what if you didn't hand the football off and Lamar actually kept it and our running backs went towards the and our linebackers went towards the running back and Lamar just takes off down the field. See, we're under this perception, if you look at the top teams, they have a good run attack. And they all get a lot of single high safety. You think that's just from the traditional hike and handoff? They're not getting single high safety because of the traditional hike the ball, hand it off. They're getting a single high safety because they have a run threat that is on steroids when you can hand it off and we want to stop it, but what if you don't hand it off and we all win? See, what a lot of y'all have to realize is this. To stop a run game, sometimes you got to guess and you got to go all out on it. To stop a run game, when they hike that football and everybody moving to the left, linebackers just got to be blind sometimes and say, hey, this is my hole, this is my hole, and this is my hole, let's shoot it. This is why whenever it's play action bootleg or whatever, and the quarterback rolls out and he's all by himself with time, this is why the linebackers are all sucked in and scrambling back like, because in the run game, to really stop it, you got to get in there right away. You got to get in there. But when you got a quarterback who can run it too, we can't just get in there. When they hike the ball and everybody moving left, we got to veer that way and make sure first before we attack the running back. Therefore, they're going to have a better run game. The running back is going to see much better lanes. The running back's going to see delayed linebackers where the offensive lineman in zone blocking can peel off and get to the next level easier. But y'all think it's just because of the O-line and a good running back. Y'all really think it's just because of a good O-line and a good running back. The reason why some of these teams have elite run games is that's why they run the ball so well. That's why they get one high safety. Because you got to account for that quarterback. And half the time in situational football, we need a spy. Sometimes single high safety could be on a 3rd and 5 just because we need a quarterback spy on the mobile guys. And that's why they have a high rate of single high. But y'all really think, get the O-line, let's bring the run game back, and that's going to force teams to go single high. They're not going to do that with Miami anymore. They're going to say, beat us with the run game. Go ahead, run the ball. Run the ball. Go ahead, run the ball. Oh, yeah, y'all run game better this year, but keep on doing it. You think they really are going to, y'all be serious. Y'all really be serious here. You think a team is going to stop going out of a too high shell to stop us from running the ball even if we running it well? You really think they're going to do that? They're going to say, beat us running the football. Go ahead. Let's see you do it. Let's see you take 15 plays to get downfield without one of your linemen offsides or holding, setting you back, and now we get to have some fun. See, teams will do that. They will say, okay, we'll let you run the ball. We'll even let you get your 5 yards for carry. But we're going to make sure it take you 12 plus plays to get in the end zone, if you can even get in the end zone. 12 plus plays. And guess what? When we get in the red zone anyway, we ain't worrying about single high and all that. We gonna bring a guy up anyway. It's pretty much red zone is a lot of one-on-one stuff anyway. And we just gonna cut off the midsection lanes and put the linebackers. So in the open field, we're gonna see too high regardless if we can run the ball or not. And this is what y'all don't understand. And another thing, here's what we got to realize in this regards with the too high safeties. Teams want us to run the football even if we do it well. Because they know, oh man, they got an 8-yarder here. They got 5 yards there. They got 6 yards there. They got 4 yards. They got 11 yards. Man, they're at our 40 already. 6 plays later, they already done flipped the field. They're at the 40 running the football. Up, offensive holding. 1st and 20. Okay, here we are. This is all we waited for. Now you at the 50, 1st and 20. Too high safety. And we know you're not just going to keep running the football. You're still going to try to throw the football. You're still going to try to throw a few bubble screens. So 1st and 20. Okay, you picked up 6 yards. 2nd and 14. Obvious pass situation. Too high again. Linebackers stay put. Maybe we run the football again. Get 6 yards. A successful run. What, 3rd and 8? Perfect situation that the defense wants you in. Or you throw the ball and it's incomplete. 3rd and 14. Or you catch a 7-yarder or a bubble screen that go for 5. Still 3rd and long. At the 42-yard line. Third and long, what you gonna do? And this is what teams want to get Miami in. That type of situation. And next thing you know, it's fourth and three. Or fourth and 8, fourth and 11, whatever it was. They force an incompletion because they load the field or whatever it may be. Maybe we pick up the first, but they'll play those odds all game because they know that they're going to make you punt more than they punt. And this is the good teams. Yeah, we know the bad team's going to be single high and too high and doing all kind of stuff and getting beat up by us. We know that. But the good teams, they're going to stay true to what they do, and they're going to say, hey, run the football. Go ahead. Austin Jackson going to eventually get a hold. Liam Eichenberg going to eventually get a holding call. Or a false start. Oh, the rookie Patrick Paul. We got a future Hall of Famer rushing against him. Oh, he gonna get a false start or a hold here and there. Teams welcome you to run the football. And we're gonna run it, and we're gonna run it well. But when you play the good teams who can also see, and that's another thing. When you play the good teams that are so good on defensive trenches that sometimes they don't even need the extra guy. Even if you're a good run game, they could stop the run with 6. Not even the traditional 7. We talk about 8 in the box. They might stop it with 6. Even with your good run game. On a couple plays. Not all of them. We're still going to run. But on a couple of plays, oh man, the big old nose tackle got in there, -1 yard. Disrupted the whole thing. The good teams will welcome the better run game. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, let's just call it what it is. Everybody been on TV saying it lately. I've been saying it for years, but I've been the biggest hater. When you have a quarterback that's limited in the sense of if the timing isn't right, if everything breaks down, we're a train wreck. But the game of football is all about when the timing isn't right and the play breaks down. This is what people don't fundamentally realize. You think everything gonna be textbook perfect? Hey, we executed the game plan to the T. That's good in practice, but when you go up against another elite team, it's called resistance. And the resistance's job is to alter your reality of what you are trying to do. How will you perform when the resistance shows up? How will you execute when there's resistance to what you're trying to do? And the truth of the matter is we don't have a quarterback who can show up against resistance like that. Everything has to be perfect. It like the pass protection. See, let me say this. Does the pass protection has to be above average for our quarterback? Yes. Does the pass protection have to be above average for Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or one of those guys? No. No. Does the timing have to be perfect for us? Yes. Does the timing have to be perfect for Mahomes and all of those other guys? No. No. So I say all that to say this. You're going to have plays in a game where the timing is off and the operation isn't perfect. We forfeit those moments. Those other teams don't. And this is why they're better. We can make excuses all we want about how we need to improve in the run game and we need to do this and we need to do that. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, when it's all the same, it's still going to come down to whose quarterback has more in his tool belt to win the game. It is a team sport, but I'm sorry, when the big dogs go against the big dogs, it comes down to the quarterback. Look at the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes, who is one of the least talked about quarterbacks in the league when he does something wrong. If we have a moment of transparency and honesty, he blew the Super Bowl for his team this time. Now, he's built the cachet to where it's okay if he has a stinker on occasions because he has so many great moments and nobody's perfect. But we got to be honest, he blew it. It came down to Patrick Mahomes. He blew it. Threw like 2-3 picks. Just bad ones too. Like, who? You didn't even have a guy over there. You're making bad decisions. You're airing throws. You just didn't show up this time. That was on Patrick Mahomes. And you can live with that as long as the guy is delivering more than he's not. And he has. So that's why nobody talking bad about Patrick Mahomes and his terrible Super Bowl performance. If that was Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, they would still be ripping them apart to this day. But nobody's saying that about Mahomes because he's built the cachet to say, okay, everybody has a bad moment. But when your guy has bad moments at a high level, when your guy is always failing against the better teams, I'm sorry. That's the reason why your team is going to continue to be in purgatory and stuck. And that's why we are where we are as Dolphin fans. We still won't believe it. We still won't come to the realization that we have a good quarterback. But good ain't good enough. Not in today's NFL. You got to be great. You got to be elite. You got to be at least really good. Not just good. I'm going to keep on explaining that to people because that's our reality as we continue to point fingers at who's to really blame. Oh, well, we need to fix this. We need to fix the O-line. Patrick Mahomes won a Super Bowl with two of the worst left tackles in the NFL in a single season. I tell you, no joke. There's I'm telling you, no lie, y'all. There was like 120 eligible tackles in the NFL, and he had 2 tackles in the bottom 5. I tell you, no joke. This ain't no exaggerate. You would never believe it. A Super Bowl winning team 2 or 3 years ago had 2 tackles ranked almost dead last. Now, they addressed it the year after. But did you hear anybody complaining about the tackles? Nope, because their quarterback showed up and got it done. Their quarterback showed up and got it done. And now nobody's, the O-line. Now the organization was smart enough to say, hey, let's make sure we get better there. But nobody's running around, oh my gosh, the O-line. This is a quarterback league. It is a team sport. But when the rubber meet the road, it comes down to them quarterbacks. If you ain't got a guy, you are wasting your time. Now, that don't mean the great guys ain't going to fail. All of them going to fail. Josh Allen done fail. Lamar done fail. But at least they failing at a high level because somebody got to fail when you get to the top. When it's the last 4 spots, somebody got to fail. So I get that. But at least be in them last 4 spots. At least be in the last 4 spots. We can't get past the last 14 spots. It is what it is. But that's why everybody's talking bad about us. And everything I'm saying, everybody knows. And you know the only group of people who don't see it? Like, have y'all ever stepped outside of being a Dolphin fan and just heard everybody else's opinion? Everybody feels the same way, except Dolphin fans. But it makes sense because we're going to believe what we're going to believe because we're fans, right? But not all of us. Some of us want better days sooner. Some of us want better days sooner. So that's our reality. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to Bleacher Report. Again, I am your host, TD from tdphinstalk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Training camp is about to start. I'll be there, and I'll be able to provide coverage every week on what's been going on. Y'all stay tuned. Love you all. Appreciate you all for tuning in on a regular basis. I will see you soon. We just got to be better. Everybody knows but Dolphin fans, and that's when you know something's wrong. Something's wrong. I'll see y'all later. Peace. I am out. Enjoy vacation at TD. I see y'all over here, man. I seen CB ask, can people come in the chat? I was actually I was doing my Bleacher Report episode, but I decided to have the phone going at the same time. That's why I wasn't looking over here. I was looking at my system on the computer. So yeah. But yeah, I got a fishing trip to get to real soon. So I'm about to get up out of here. We about to get us another night of fishing in. Yeah, man. We were on them snappers last night, man. We were on them snappers last night. By about 14, 16 inches. Yeah, we were on them snappers last night. Had a good time. TD, is this rock bottom? No, this ain't rock bottom. This ain't rock bottom. No. 1 and 15 was rock bottom. All right. This is not rock bottom. All right. I appreciate you, JD. Anyway, man, I'm out of here. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I will see y'all later. And those who are going to training camp, hope to see y'all there, man. Y'all have some fun. I'll catch y'all soon. Peace. I'm out.